by the way, to introduce you to the, is it okay, Prof? Okay, boleh dengar ya. Okay, to introduce you to the audience, Professor Dr. Abdul Salam Babji has written on your post at UKM now, as you are the technologist in residence, Prof, at UKM, Pusat Inovasi Kolaboratif UKM, Prof, I noticed you are on many other tasks. Okay, could you please share with us? I want to know from you. I will not read it. I would like to listen from you.
Okay. Assalamualaikum to one or two, whoever is listening, and I'm in the faculty science technology now, while the mid-lab work is going on with Dr. Salma, Salma Yusuf. Now, I am a consultant to a few companies, but the one I gave you, I'm a consultant to the bird nest company called Mobile Harvester. Okay? Mobile Harvester is integrated bird nest company. Right from the sarang burung walit and burung walit punya rumah sampai daripada Kelantan, Terengganu, even Pahang and Johor, they have all the houses, about 40 plus houses. They will collect the bird nest raw, dirty, and they will do the cleaning in 2 factories in Shah Alam. Okay. Once everything is clean, they will pass over to me to do the research for patent that we have that they sign with, and that is called the EBN, Edible Bird Nest Hydrolysate. Okay, edible bird nest hydrolysate is patent number 1. We also have patent number 2, salicylic acid from hydrolysate, and then we have number 3, prebiotic from hydrolysate. Okay, so that's one of the company. The other one is a subsidiary of the company called Penta Harvest International. That is a multi-level marketing company, marketing downstream product of cosmetic. You may want to try that, cosmetic, natural cosmetic from sarang burung walit. And malam ni there is a Zoom. I may give you the Zoom if you're interested to listen by one of the former student, Dr. Cheng Sui, who works with us also as a technical officer in Penta Harvest International. Okay. And then, of course, the third one, I'm involved with the meat science and technology, processing of burger and hot dog, and now more of halal consultation and HACCP and any problem that the company face with the industry. The company is called Lucky Food Processing and also Lucky Frozen. They have about 4 or 5 go down or store from Johor Bahru right to Penang, right to Langkawi, and KL. They have 2 go down. I think that's briefly what I do right now. Besides doing my research with UKM as a volunteer, they give me a space, they give me a room, and they give me research access that I can co-supervise. I cannot be the main supervisor, but I can co-supervise and do research. And finally, I bring research to the university and business to the University Kebangsaan for the last 47 years.
Wow, that sounds good.
Nurul Ain, you look familiar.
Oh, Zalifa is one of us here.
Okay, Zalifa, and then there is Nurul Ain tu siapa tu?
Nurul Ain and Nurul Akila, they are both my students. We are waiting for...
Welcome. Hi, Zalifa. How are you? Zalifa, can you hear us?
I'm here.
All right.
On camera ke? Ada boleh on camera kejap.
Okay. All right. Back to you, Laila.
Yeah, Zalifa is on the camera now.
Yeah, yes. I can see.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam, Prof.
I'm in Manis room. I'm in Bilik Manis, and I'm also at the same time in the Makmal Daging dengan Dr. Salma and Dr. Alia.
Okay.
So I'm doing 2 things or 3 things at one time.
Oh, yeah. That's very
good. Now, Laila, I'm all yours for the next 2 hours.
Oh, thank you very much. Okay, Prof, to tell you for this semester, our organization, Yeah, I repeat again, Prof. The subject is actually halal and quality standard for food service sanitation organization. So I have Prof here. We're very proud to have you, but some of them are having classes. So I make this report for my students because you are the one I call you as a big person in me. You can talk anything on the standards, on quality itself, and also on the halal kind of thing. Yeah. So Prof, 3 in 1 is not easy for me. That's why I say to you, I really depend on you, like somebody, your forte, mid science, and to share a few. I mean, of course, that interests us here is on the bird's nest because I believe there are some good quality or nutritional value of that kind of bird nest, but could you please help us go about it? How you go and get yourself into the patented one? I heard just now 2 patent, right, Prof? On the bird's nest, is it correct?
3 patent.
3 patent. Could you please go let us know? Yeah, because as a layman outside there, we might not be familiar. Like me itself, what are we actually taking? Are we eating the bird's nest? Are we eating the saliva of the birds on the nest?
Yeah, you are you're literally makan air ludah air ludah burung walit.
Oh, okay. How make it? Could you please not to have a very long explanation? The simple one. If I were to approach you, okay, Prof, I want to have the sarang burung. Could you please tell me in terms of health, how can it help us to be healthy?
Of course, simple. I would like you to see some of your Chinese friends, or if you happen to go to a lot of Chinese restaurants, they've been eating bird nest for the last few hundred years. Ever since Admiral Cheng Ho, a Muslim Chinese, came and realized that there's something whitish in color to light yellow in color when they see from the sea, dekat gua-gua di Terengganu dengan Pahang tu semua, they can see the bird are flying and then going back. And then they saw this nest, and that is the sarang burung walit. So, and then they saw the nest and they are observant. Basically, they start picking up the nest because they are hungry. They thought if anything that can fly or anything that they can eat, they will eat. They are sailors, they are pirates, or whatever you want to call them. So they got sarang burung walit and they make soup out of it. And then the rest is history. And they found out that it gives them the stamina, it makes them feel good when they are sailors in the sea for many, many months on the sea. And they start collecting it, and then they test it with the king, the Ming dynasty, the Qing dynasty, the Tang dynasty. We're talking about 7, 8, 900 years ago. At the end of the day, the Chinese community in Malaysia and many parts of China realized that this is really something very good. One of the first things they realized is under traditional medicine of the Chinese community, it helped with asthma.
Oh.
And they didn't know why, but it helped with emphysema. Emphysema is the most serious case of asthma and also of pneumonia. Ni semua have to do with what? Paru-paru.
Yeah, lungs, yeah.
The lungs. And that was the first thing that got infected when you go from one place to another. From China, you come to Malaysia, or from Malaysia, you go to New York, change in temperature and change time. Your first source of organ that will be infected will be your lungs because of the air you breathe in. So, sarang burung walit become a very pricey item, expensive as it go along. And to cut matter short, it is now about 15,000 ringgit per kilo because of COVID-19. I repeat, from 8,000, 10,000, 12,000, now 15,000. This is not my patent. This is the sarang burung walit yang dah bersih.
Oh.
So it becomes 10, 15,000 now, depending on the grade. And most of the sarang burung walit is bought by the Chinese community and the rich Chinese community. Only about 5% of the China are rich. The rest are not rich. But what are the benefits? I have actually given you many slides to show the benefit. In fact, if you have time, I know you don't. I send you the video of 1 hour, the lecture I'm giving next week to University Science Malaysia. I'll be going there to give the lecture second time after 2 years. The same lecture. It's all on the goodness of Sarang Burung Walid, but in a different format. It is proven right. The myth, the culture, the traditional belief of bird nest that didn't have any science behind it is brought into the scientific world. I am proud to say through our patent.
Oh,
So you
Alhamdulillah.
with the fund given by the Kerajaan Malaysia, Kementerian Sains Teknologi Alam Sekitar, about 10, uh, eight, 10 years, 11 years ago, we got about 1.8 million. And up to total, we got a budget of about 3.4 million with some young lecturers also here in UKM. And Talifa is one of them, and there's one or two others are working. And we have managed to come up with a patent after patent, and there's more coming, inshallah. Why? There are many things. The basic thing why, so that I don't have to talk much, so that you can read from the slide and pass over to your students and to anybody who wants the slides or the information I give to you over the last few days. You are most welcome to do so, and they can contact me free of charge. This is important.
Yeah.
The
No.
basic thing about Sarang Burung Walid is this, Nolaila. I think even to Zalifa and Nurul, and we have your other student, it is. It has nitric oxide. Not nitrite, nitric oxide.
Nitrate.
NO, not N2O,
NO.
not NO2, not NO3. Nitrate is the salt, nitrite is the breakdown of the salt plus nitric oxide. Okay, so before many years ago, doctors in the surgery or cardiologists will inject you with a very low parts of nitric oxide to do your dilation of your blood system. Dia akan bukakan saluran capillary of blood to vasodilate. Vasodilate is vessel dilate. Jadi pembukaan pembuluh sarul-sarul darah to the extreme end of your hands, right to the extreme end of your toe, and right to the extreme end of your blood-brain barrier. I repeat, the blood-brain barrier is one of the wonders of what this bird nest can do through just one system, nitric oxide. But no, there are other things dalam air ludah or saliva. I like to say air ludah memang it is orang kata jijik. And then question on halal that you are an expert on, that Jakim, am I making too much noise? I'm sorry.
No.
You know lah. No, I have graduate students around and postdoc. Jakim had 2 years of deliberation to halalkan sarang burung walid, air ludah. Under ni fatwa, I think Dr. Zalifa or you will say najis, musa apakah? Ada 3 jenis najis.
Yes.
Mutawasit. I can't remember, but there are 3 types. So this air ludah or secretion ataupun cecair yang keluar dari organ manusia atau binatang haram ataupun halal tertakluk kepada adalah dia punya all those requirement. Okay, so answer your first question. It increase blood flow and it just like exercise. Like you senaman, you are increasing your blood flow to your kaki, to your tangan, to your jari, and that makes you healthy. So that alone is been proven by us and many other scientists scientifically that sarang burung walit increase vasodilation and blood flow. Itu jawapan dia.
Oh, good. Prof, tapi yang discourage me a lot, it is very expensive. Don't you ever think to come up with the small, the little one, macam, kenapa tak orang mereka jual madu, Prof? Mereka jual madu kan dia letak kecil-kecil sikit-sikit, Prof. Orang-orang macam kami mungkin boleh mampu beli, Prof.
Yeah, correct. Well, unfortunately, this is a price item. I cannot make it any cheaper. In fact, my product sells for 25 to 30,000 per kilo.
Oh my.
I repeat. Zalifa knows that. That's why Zalifa say I'm very rich. Huh, Zalifa?
Betul, Prof.
Actually, I'm not intellectually rich. But I do admit that I do get money from the industry, which make me alhamdulillah rezeki daripada Tuhan. Air ludah burung walit boleh jadi rezeki yang besar pada tauke-tauke Cina, tauke-tauke Melayu pun dah pandai sekarang. Orang Indonesia pun dah belajar daripada saya. I went to Indonesia many times already to help, because Indonesia is number 1 in the world production of sarang burung walit.
Yeah. Prof, sorry to stop you, because besides teaching the halal, there is also food hygiene and food safety, the subject I'm teaching. Sorry, memang Prof kata dengar depa kata air ludah tu macam jijik, betul tak, Prof? Could you please guide us on how to make it not to say sanitize, like how to make it safe for us to be.
Oh, it is very safe. Even sarang burung walit you ambil daripada rumah you, kalau lah you ada burung pipit, burung walit ni, bukan burung pipit burung walit sarang burung walit ni pun ada 3-4 macam. Yang boleh makan 2 saja. You harvest ataupun ambil sarang burung walit yang kotor. Okey, 1 kilo dah ada RM500 sekarang. Dulu 1 kilo siapa pun tak mau. Saya ulangi. Dia banyak sarang burung walit come from Terengganu, Pahang, Kelantan, Johor Bahru and Sampat Sopera. 1 kilo dulu nobody want sarang burung walit yang kotor. Sebab dia sarang, dia ada bulu, dia ada najis, dia ada ranting-ranting pokok sikit, tapi kebanyakan is air ludah ataupun the bird nest saliva. It is glutinous. It has got a major protein called the glycoprotein. It is protein campur dengan carbohydrate, and then it form like a gum, like a cup, and the cup macam tu dia boleh curl. And they know bird pandai buat sarang kan, macam-macam yang sarang burung boleh buat ataupun haiwan boleh buat. And then yang ni dijadikan sarang untuk betina dan jantan dan betina punya burung walit to cohabitate and to produce the egg. And from there, the people who begin to know about sarang burung walit pergi harvest 1 kilo daripada kosong jadi RM50, RM100. Sekarang dah RM500-600 sekilo. Yang kotor dibawakan kepada kilang, and adalah kilang yang ada 200 orang, 500 orang. Kerja dia is to mula cuci dengan air. Bila cuci dengan air itu kena ada faucet, kena ada penyepit untuk nak cabut keluar all those dirty things, and then dia jadi putih dengan kekuningan. Lepas tu dimasukkan sekali lagi dalam air suam, dicabutkan lagi sampai kita dapat sarang burung walit tanpa najis, tanpa bulu burung, tanpa ranting-ranting dan daun dan apa lagi daripada tubuh. Ini kemudian dimasukkan dalam, kemudian baru dimasukkan dalam acuan. Acuan tu macam sarang burung walit. Sebab dia dah pecah semua, dia susun balik. Dia susun balik jadi macam cup macam tu. Macam you tengok dalam kedai-kedai yang duk jual tu. Kemudian dimasukkan balik dalam oven, dikeringkan dalam seharian atau 5-6 jam. kemudian dibawa keluar, and akhirnya you get sarang burung walet that is not sterilized, but that is long lasting because the water activity is only 0.7 or below.
Oh, which means less than 0.85.
Any product below 0.7 AW water activity, ataupun dalam bahasa yang mudah, yang kekurangan airnya telah dikeluarkan, dia boleh tahan sehingga 15 tahun, 20 tahun dia boleh tahan kalau disimpan tanpa udara. So, sebab itu sarang, and then khasiatnya masih original, tak dikacau. Keaslian dia masih ada di situ. Sebab kita tak masak dia sampai hangus, kata orang Penang, ataupun sampai dia ada sterile. Any sterile product, Zalifa will tell you, if you drink sterilized milk, you are drinking something useless. You have killed all the nice enzyme, and you have denatured the protein. That answer your question, Laila? That answer your question?
Okay. Because
there are many answers, but I just give you that point. That is why it is so popular, and unfortunately, sebab ada orang yang nak dapat untung, dia tak kisah tentang telur yang ada dalam sarang tu. Dia tak tunggu sampai sarang telur tu menetas, telur tu hatch to come to get more bird, to get more burung walet. So dalam masa significantly kita ada kajian daripada kumpulan kita. Kumpulan kita ni ialah 50 saintis sarang burung walet. Dia bukan saintis sarang burung walet. Dia become saintis sarang burung walet macam Prof. Profesor Daging masuk into the area because we got research to do certain aspect that we are good at. Biochemistry of glycoprotein.
Okay, thank you for such a very long explanation. No wonder, Prof, because of the meticulous processing method.
Correct. Pasal tu burung walet mahal. Pasal tu sekarang burung walet mahal because the labor intensive. There is no modern machine that can do the processing.
Dengan macam Prof kata, dengan najis dia, dengan bulu-bulu and everything, betul tak? You have to clean everything. Okay, now I understand, Prof. I'm not that clear again, macam 3 pattern yang, because apa yang I nak tanya ni, Prof, because I nak lecturer yang kat luar sana yang buat many type of research, they come up with something that commercialized, betul tak, Prof? Boleh datang duit banyak macam Prof kan? Boleh kaya, kata Zalifa kan? What is actually your advice going throughout the research, Prof? Ada banyak, I believe ramai yang even dia orang believe unpatented tau, Prof. Sayang Prof.
Sayang betul. Ada saintis yang ada sampai 100 patent. Ada saintis yang ada 4-5 patent. Ada saintis yang crazy about publication of Q1 papers. Tapi none of the Q1 papers are patentable. So it all depends on what you want to do and what you are thinking. Patent is not easy to get because banyak orang nak buat the same thing. Even Prof punya patent ABN pun ada orang dah curi dah.
Oh my.
Ada orang dah curi sebab mereka pandai, mereka tengok alah ni profesor ni buat kerja ni, dia dah bagi tahu dah, ambil sarang burung walet tu, bagi enzim, campur dengan enzim tu, dia dapat keywords. Dia nampak keywords the enzyme ni boleh hydrolyze. And then lepas hydrolyze, dia boleh pisah. Any biochemist from daripada upper 6 or after BSc or master will know enzymology. Enzyme will hydrolyze and hydrolysis. We learned that in Form 4, Form 5, pure science. And you hydrolyze anything, daging ke, ayam ke, sayur ke, susu ke, you have opened up the protein structure. Now we are talking about the basic of food biochemistry, which I think you have taken also in your course, we have protein biochemistry, we have lipid biochemistry, we have carbohydrate biochemistry, vitamin as well as mineral and water biochemistry. So, the answer to your question is unfortunately this. Many patent from university is just for the sake of patent.
Oh, sayang kan? No?
Innovation from the thesis of masters and PhD and even undergrad are for the sake of thesis and paper publication. Many people have many publication jadi professor macam saya, macam you, or macam Prof Zalifah to be. Zalifah, you hear that? Ada burung di sebalik batu, burung walit. Many people want to publish and get apa orang panggil JUSA A, JUSA B, JUSA C and all those things. Unfortunately, I would say most university in Malaysia are on the wrong track because of our system and because of our own people. If you go to Sweden or you go to Australia, where I have experience with professors, and they have magma called pilot plant. The student must know every machine. Where we restrict ourselves to not only we restrict ourselves to food technology, yeah. But we are doing engineering, we're doing medicine, we're doing anything under the world that to have lagi. Most university in Australia and in Sweden, the one I'm familiar, of course in USA, will have university as the central kitchen. Because kita pandai dengan food, university, jantung hati is the central kitchen, and then keliling university are the satellite pilot plant, or we call it rumah bengkel for in this case rumah bengkel like we have in UKM pilot plant, and that's where all the experiment do, and that is where you make mistakes, and that's where you are successful in innovating your mistakes, and your mistake become a patent because nobody else have done it. That's the answer to you in short. And since you are talking me, with pandemic over the last 2 years, the lecturers who are hardworking in the lab have been deprived of their opportunity to be in the lab. As a result, they become Zoom kaboom. Zoom kaboom to me is not a joke. They become very happy with at home dengan anak cucu, dengan isteri duk bagi makan, duk suap sambil dia duk Zoom. Okay, to the point where it is simple to teach using Zoom. And there is no more contact with the actual thing that you are supposed to do to innovate and to do patenting. This is satu penyakit yang kalau kita tak jaga, it's obvious the lecturers are innovative, they are enthusiastic, they have ideas, they don't have the facilities of what it takes. When you want Dalifah one, for example, one HPLC or one machine for satiety, for kepuasan makan lah apa semua, let's say that one cost $1 million. Tak ada duit. We don't have the money compared to Australia or Japan or other country. So, jangan rasa sedih. We have done our best, but we are still, at least we are out of the third world country, okay? At least we are out. I think Malaysia is hitting 2020 tak sampai tak apa as a developed